hit him up every team locking. I even take when I'm walking. They hit the way when I'm walking. It's still a Mary for the dinner.
I'm literally gonna wait for you. And I see you're gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna like. I'm just keep watching. Just subscribe. And you think the clip gonna cut right here, but it's not, because I'm still waiting for you to click that like button, and the subscribe, and the post notification button.
BlueLock essentially is Japan's guide to creating the perfect striker. Philosophy-wise, the Japanese Football Federation actually believes that to kind of win the World Cup, they believe that, you know, they've got it down pat. Like, there's nothing they need to do. They just need a striker and then they'll win the World Cup. Yeah, they're gonna get a striker. And how they're gonna do this is that they're gonna make a striker, which is kind of weird because you're like, okay, how are you gonna make this striker? So what they decided to do, because, you know, Japan, it's a fun time, they decided that they're gonna take about 300 children and put them basically in a prison. Because we saw the promo work, there were a lot of shackled up people.
Oh, where we going? I don't know, but we getting out of here.
Like, that's really illegal if you really think about it, but I'm just gonna ignore the fact that you had all of those boys in shackles?
Police! Help! Police! Help!
Okay, basically they've decided that they're gonna create the perfect striker through the youth, which is a smart thing. They believe that the issue with Japan is that they're too kind and they don't have that killer edge, that ruthlessness to create a striker. So they took it upon themselves that they're gonna take a bunch of children and lock them up. Out of that whole process, one child will come out. I really should probably stop saying child, but I won't, because I want it to really sound weird.
Help! Police!
They're gonna take one child who's come out of all those 300, kind of like a weird football Hunger Games. That child who's gonna come out of there is gonna be the savior of Japan, because again, you know, Japan is perfect. They just need a striker who will be their savior. Well, essentially. But besides all the, actually, to be honest with you, yeah, the anime in itself is pretty insane, because every time you try and explain something, it sounds crazy. But then again, it's an anime about strikers, and that's a position that doesn't get as much love as it should, because yeah, they get all the glory, but in terms of the mental aspect of being a striker and what it takes to be a striker, we follow Isagi, who is on his journey to find himself. His dream is to, you know, a dream I feel like every striker has, which is to, you know, score the goal to help his country win the World Cup, to be the best in the world, right? And he essentially lives up to that stereotypical dream, but he's a bit different in the sense that he doesn't necessarily know himself that much. He makes a mistake which ultimately costs him a game, but in his mind and in most eyes it was the right decision. But in BlueLock, it was a big mistake where he had an opportunity to score, but he decided to pass and, you know, increase the chances of them scoring, because it would have been a tap-in. Unfortunately, it doesn't go his way. But we follow this journey where Isagi is just around these studs, in the sense that everybody seems to be better than him, but little does he know, you know. There's a reason why he's in front of the poster, you know. He's surrounded by so many different strikers. Mind you, there's 300. And the show does a great job of displaying this, because all of the strikers seem to be different. There's so much variation. There's tall strikers, short ones, fast ones, slow ones, smart ones, ones who dribble, ones who can't dribble, ones who just have power. There's so many variations of strikers, and I applaud the anime for doing this, because it's really, you know, even though it's not the most realistic representation of football, it kind of is realistic in that aspect, because there's 300 people. I don't think all 300 of them would be the same. We follow this insane journey because BlueLock is a crazy mess. It's a crazy mess of an anime, because it's filled with so many extremes, in the sense that I find it difficult to explain. It's simple, but it's different, because BlueLock is the cousin who's on crack. Everything seems crazy with them, you know, they kind of seem like, I don't want to hang out with you, but at the same time, they seem like a fun time. BlueLock is that because everything is so insane. Everything is done from the perspective of a striker. Things are so, their thinking is so narcissistic, and it's about the ego and this confidence, and it's something that is usually hidden. That side of humanity, that aggression, that ruthlessness, that narcissism is hidden with this facade at times of humbleness. When we know that certain characters they think highly of themselves, but they have to, due to cultural constraints, have to sometimes just hold themselves back and like, oh, you just have to be humble, you know, I'm a nice guy. And BlueLock literally just said, no, forget all of that and just go crazy.
Like Dragon Ball Z? Yeah! Hey, them niggas do be yeah, what's up though?
And that's what they do. Episode 1 was a perfect depiction of the anime because it was insane. It felt as if I was watching Hunger Games, but the Japanese version, and instead of weapons, they gave them a football. It's weird, but really interesting, because I did not expect to see that, but it gets you hyped about the anime because you're just like, whoa, that is really insane, and what is going on? BlueLock has the potential to be really special. It's gonna be airing for about 24 episodes, so it gives it enough time to just grow on you, and also just give it enough time to really develop instead of just rushing it quickly. Oh, the World Cup, let's try and get it to the World Cup, and then after the World Cup, let's stop. No, you can see that this is a project that wants to go the long mile. Like I said, I think the BlueLock project is real. They're gonna keep doing it. But it's just something that I feel is not getting enough love. Yes, all of the football consideration is amazing, because every time the Japanese team does something amazing, the BlueLock is real, the BlueLock is real. And that's really amazing, but at the same time, I feel like this season, all of the anime that had hype seems to not be getting as much love as it's supposed to be. Bleach is getting love, but mostly because of that nostalgia factor. And okay, the anime is popping. The animation is really good, but also some people are even saying that Chainsaw Man is mid, which is weird to me. It just seems like all of the anime that was hyped is not getting enough love, and BlueLock is one of them because it had so much hype, and maybe people just got tired of waiting for it, but it's here, and I think that it deserves an opportunity to be watched because it's thoroughly entertaining. Every single episode is filled with action and insanity. It just feels as if you're just sitting on the edge of your seat every single game, because again, you just are watching 300 strikers try and work together in trying to play football, and you get some crazy results because you see all these characters and who they are try and mesh into one, but at the same time the objective is to be the best. So there's a lot of conflict of interest in each game, and I really think that given enough time, the anime can actually grow into something huge, in that it's already getting hype from the Japanese football team's performances, but I think in itself, I hope that it gets more eyes, because it's an anime that really does well in every category to a certain degree about football. The only issue is the CGI at times. It's garbage, but I'm just gonna try and be nice and be like, progress, keep on trying, but the CGI is terrible, I will not lie to you. But essentially, BlueLock is insane. The journeys continuing, every episode is so interesting to see because you're watching a lot and you're learning. And I think that it's an anime that after everything is said and done, it will be applauded, because you can tell that they literally decided that we're gonna tell you what we think football should be for this country. They believe they're perfect in, or they're good enough in all the other departments, but they lack this. Now we're basically following their journey to create what they're lacking, and I think that with enough time, I think that BlueLock will be really appreciated, because it really takes you into a world that is really undermined mentally, and every single episode shows you that, yo, stuff gets crazy here, but at the same time, it's such an insane ride that you just want to just stay on the ride, because it's an amazing ride. It's a roller coaster, and I really think that given enough time, BlueLock can become a really special anime.
Yes, here we go again. Lift the jug and fill my mouth with that thick, sweet juice.